All right, in this video, I want to talk about some of the PS tools. These are great tools to look at, and there's all sorts of names to them. So in this case, I've actually copied the PS tools to my System32 directory. So let's go ahead and do a directory to C:\\/ Windows System32. Okay. And let's go ahead and do a PS asterisk. So in this case, this is going to tell us all of the specific files in that directory that begin with PS, and we'll be able to pick up some of the EXEs out of that list. So we have PS execute, we have PS info, we have PS kill, we have PS list, PS logged on, PS log list, PS password, PS service, PS shutdown, suspend, and then a couple other DLLs, right? So just basically look for the .exe part of that, and then probably to filter all of that, if you just add a .exe to the end of that, you can see that basically it just crunches the list that we want. So the reason why I want to show you the directory first is not simply to tell you where I copied the files, but you want to be able to keep this fresh on the input of the computer screen, so that way you can run a tool, hit the up arrow a bunch of times, look at this particular list, and choose the next tool to basically run. The first one that I want to try here is PS get SID, and I'll just go ahead and type that, and you'll see that it'll pull the security identifier, which is unique for every computer or domain membership. In this case, I'm showing you my own SID, but also I noticed the convention / computer name. So let's see if we can't get creative here. I'm going to go ahead and type this against my target, 192.168.92.131, and go ahead and pull that as well. And in this case, you can see that my target is slightly different and the security identifier is different. And then you can compare the two. This would be my local user account security identifier. This would be the domain or my target, and I would want to document that, the whole thing, so that I can edit it later. Then what I would do is just clear your screen and then run another tool. So let's go ahead and clear our screen. Bring back up our file. We did PS get SID last time, so let's go ahead and PS file this time. If you go ahead and list a PS file, it says no file opened remotely on Leo. Well, let's try it against our target. 192.168.92.131, and you can see that there actually is some good information here if we run that again. Now, these are more system admin tools than they are hacker tools, but they provide a wealth of information. In this case, the user account is administrator and accesses read and write and 0 locks, which is good. Okay, so I always look for that. Okay, next, let's clear our screen and run another tool. So CLS, see what's in our list. That was get SID, get file. Now let's do PS info. PS info, type your tool, see what you get for your local computer. And then we'll go ahead and run it against our target. Now the reason why I like to run it both against the local machine and our target machine is just so I have something to compare it against. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you do it locally in a target. So think of it as 2 for 1. Okay, so you always have the overview of the tool information here, the computer in which you just targeted, the different uptime. So in this case, my computer's just been turned on, the type of operating system that it is, Microsoft Windows XP, the service pack level, the kernel build, registered owner, the install date 2007, the activation status, the IE version, the system root, the number of processors, and the VMware information. So here from ps*.exe, we have PS list. ps list against the target, 192.168.92.131, and you can see I can pull all of the remote processes, the name of the process, all of the process IDs. This is useful for Trojan analysis, the CPU time, and the elapsed memory time. So that tells me about the specific hardware in itself and each specific service. And so I would want to go through here and look at it. And you can see, the basic VMware environment, patch.exe is installed, MMC, logon.scr for a screensaver. All right, so I would document all of this, right-click and just hit enter, and whatever is in the white, use that for your documentation. And that's basically how you pull the equivalent of a process information, or what you would see inside Task Manager on your target. So we'll go down here and we'll clear the screen, bring up our list again. Next, you can do PS service. Okay. Now, if you notice, that rattles off a whole lot of services locally. If you do that, if you do it against a target, pretty much the same thing. It's just local services versus remote services. 192.168.92.131. There you go, capture that. If you wanted to add that to a file, if you're not going to read it now, then you could go ahead and, put in, C:// file, location, etc., .txt, and it'll go ahead and dump it. So that's good for documentation. As a matter of fact, it's a good idea to append all of these commands that we're doing and redirect the output to a file. And I would just keep appending and appending and appending. Okay. Next, let's look at PS kill. Okay, now I'm going to do this specifically with the help, okay, because that'll actually tell us the naming convention. A little bit different. You can do this with the others as well. Each one has their own set of information or their own help file. So here we can see PS kill, tag T is kill the process. So this is where you would actually tie in PS list, where it had the process ID. You would use that number, the name of the service and the process ID, you would actually put that in right here. So kill that on this computer with this username and this password, and then of course the respective process ID and or name. And it has to be specific. So this is a great way to shut down things remotely. So if you want to start attacking things right now, what you could effectively do is reach out to your target, evaluate that target in terms of availability, and go, let's just take it offline, and then just start trying to kill remote services and hopefully make it shut down so that other users can't use it. And that's how you would use it maliciously. But again, this is a system administration tool, and it should be used appropriately. All right, so pretty basic. Kill, username, and password. PS kill. So go ahead and clear your screen and go back up and look at your list again. If you want to do PS shutdown, same thing, use your help, and you'll see that there's lots of options here with PS shutdown. So the usage, if you want the exact syntax for the command, and again, you can digest this. It may seem overwhelming, but you can digest this, of course, one option at a time. In this case, what I would recommend is taking all of this, copying this over to Notepad specifically. Okay, paste that in there, and then slowly start editing this one at a time and trying it on your destination computer and do it on a non-production system so that you get an idea of just exactly how this happens on the network. The easy stuff here is, I'm not going to save the changes to the file. The easy stuff here is the username and the password and the destination computer, or if it's multiple computers, okay. And then specifically the reboot option, that's always a fun one to start out with. But you can have a little bit of fun with this. You can use specific messages and warn the user with a particular message. So try a different combination of these against a virtual target or in a practice lab, and have fun a little bit with hacking and actually shut down a remote computer. Okay, but I've always used these things responsibly. My name is Leo Dreger. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter.